A promised masterpiece.
Crime games and depression games are even more yummy than mouth-watering big steaks. This is brought to you by me, FORGEE, the Japanese game junkie.
Overview. GINKA, a crime game, is scheduled to be released on October 26, 2023. In this movie, I'd like to speculate on the contents of the game based on the information that is currently available. To put it bluntly, this is a game that is already halfway to becoming a masterpiece. If anything, it may even be the highest quality crime game to be released in 2023. The price is 3,278 yen, slightly higher than the previous game. However, it is still about half the price of the full-price games, and considering the quality of the previous game, it must be worth more than the price. What to expect? First and foremost, this work was created by the strongest tag team of Asta Konno-san and Yusano-san. These two are the scenario writer and artist of the legendary crime game Actually My Dear Moments, which was released in 2020. The composer is Fuminori Matsumoto-san, the same composer as in Atuli, so we can expect beautiful and heartwarming music. Of course, the game is produced by Front Wing, so the game system is also in good shape. The fact that we can be so reassured even before the game is released is a testament to the trust that has been built up in their works so far. Now, let's see what kind of game GINKA will be. Please note that this movie was created on October 17, 2023, before the countdown video that will be released on October 19th. Scenario Forecast. Since little has been revealed about the content of the game at this point, we can only speculate based on the CGs presented so far and staff interviews. First of all, please take a look at this CG. You can see the shide. The shide is a piece of paper hung at shrines and other sacred places. As you can imagine from the zigzag shape, it was made in the image of a thunderbolt or lightning bolt. The lightning bolt is meant to ward off evil. Perhaps GINKA is a shrine maiden? Also in this CG, GINKA appears to be protecting the protagonist from something that is attacking him. Is it an evil spirit or something else? Was this evil spirit the current situation that led the young GINKA into a godforsaken state, and now it has come to kidnap the protagonist? This game may involve a scenario of indigenous Japanese beliefs. It is like Princess Mononoke, who was spirited away by Ghibli movies. At this stage, we can only guess, but we are sure that this work, like its predecessor Atuli, will have a large gap between the first half in which the protagonist and GINKA enjoy their daily life together, and the second half in which the reader's emotions are shaken up like a torrent. Prediction of GINKA's true identity. GINKA went missing when she was a child and has never returned since then. However, 5 years later, when the protagonist returns to the island, she suddenly appears. I don't think there is any element of detective novel here. This is because her appearance is just as it was back then. For example, there are some works in which a character who lived in a place without sunlight for a number of years and whose body did not grow normally. And yet, In the case of GINKA, this line is probably thin. This is because not only the size of her body, but also everything she wears is exactly as it was at that time. Therefore, it would be better to think of GINKA in an occult rather than a detective way. The narration at the end of this official movie, a fairy tale like summer vacation, is another material that reinforces this direction. Fairy tales are not compatible with mystery. If it could be, it would rather be science fiction. I think GINKA has already died at the hands of an evil spirit or something on the night 5 years ago. GINKA was living on the island as a ghost because she was still in love with the main character, but could not tell him how she felt about him. She did not appear for several years when the protagonist was away from the island, but I think that somehow she came to know that the protagonist had returned to the island and she materialized in order to confess her feelings for him. One thing is curious. Looking at the official website, a character named Mysterious Girl, a high school student who looks exactly like GINKA, appears. Her sample voice is ominous.
一つ忠告しておく。あなた、悪いものに疲れてる。
It's possible that she is referring to GINKA. Of course, I'd like to believe that it is not, but I doubt it. By the way, GINKA has a blue butterfly-shaped ornament in her hair, which looks like Ulysses. I don't know how it is considered in Japan, but in Australia, this butterfly is said to bring happiness. On the other hand, the previously released teaser PV depicted a scene of several shiny white butterflies flying around GINKA. Butterflies are treated as creatures flying between life and death, or as symbols of resurrection in every country in the world. If so, the latter half of the game will be the protagonist's battle to bring GINKA back from the fate of death. Concerns. To be clear, I have almost zero concerns about this game. This is a work by a staff at a company that already has a great track record, so it is as if it is guaranteed to be a masterpiece even before it's released. If there is one concern, it is that the previous title was too excellent. Actually, My Dear Moments was an unbelievably perfect flying game for such a low price, so fans' expectations for this title are extremely high. In terms of price, this one is slightly higher than its predecessor. Many fans would not be satisfied with a slightly better game result. Will this game be able to surpass its predecessor? Does GINKA, the heroine of this game, have more glowing charm than Atli, who was the best heroine of all time? Although the color of her eyes is different, GINKA's long silver hair is very similar to that of Atli. Furthermore, the setting of the game is also very similar. Both games take place in a town facing the sea in the middle of summer. According to the game staff, they wanted to appeal to fans of the previous game by daring to make it similar to the first game. I sincerely hope that GINKA will captivate fans around the world even more than Atli. That's all I have to say about GINKA. at this point. Naturally, I will play this game on the day of its release. After that, I will upload a spoiler-free review movie and a spoiler discussion movie with my passionate thoughts as usual. If you are on the fence about purchasing the game, I urge you to watch the spoiler-free version and decide what you want to do. To say the least, I'm very excited. I will once again feel that overflowing feeling I had when I played Atuli. I don't want this war to end. I want to live in this world with Atuli forever. And that is in just 1 week.